I just had this idea. I was writing and had this idea. While I was cleaning, I was doing a lot of shit. I've been trying to get my living space upgraded, so I was doing some work. And then I found this treasure. I found a box of pot. So I took a little pot and I smoked it. But then it made me start writing. And then I started writing and I started thinking about a bunch of stuff, a bunch of people too. Which is weird because there's people I don't like to think about. So I wrote down all the stuff. I wrote down all the stuff to see if all the things are going to happen. Because I think I come off as crazy sometimes. But I think I come off as crazy because it's just that I'm lonely. So I'm not really lonely. No, it's lonely. No, it's lonely. It's lonely because people don't appreciate what do you call it? Me. But then again, I don't appreciate other people, so it's just like it's a story of my life. But what I was thinking by writing about all these people is it's not even people that you would normally think either. It was really interesting. I was surprised it went like that. So this is very specific, and if it works out exactly the way that I fuck yeah, I hope it does. I am going to be celebrated as a god, I think, which should be cool. But again, that's more crazy talk. But I'm only talking crazy because I'm just curious to see if this happens. Because every time I try an experiment like this, where I do, I can't hold my composure, and I have to follow my impulses, which happens a lot. I usually get myself really, really like kind of fucked up, and for a couple days afterwards, I get very nervous because I go, "What? Oh my God, did I do the right thing? Did I do the right thing?" And this time it's nothing crazy. For the first time ever, it's nothing crazy. So, but it's so very specific. I tried this once when I was contemplating suicide months and months and months ago. I still have the suicide note. It's in one of my books. I had to leave it there. It was just too fucking cool. I wasn't going to give that up. I wasn't going to waste that thing. But it wasn't like a woe is me. It was just like I got nothing. I have no. How would I explain it? I just didn't care. It just didn't really matter. It's like, you know what? There's really nothing for me here at all. So fuck it. Yeah. And plus, I was going through a lot of mental shit too. There was some serious mental shit going on, and it was necessary. I had to face some things, and it was just I was fucking scared to look at some shit, and I was like, fuck it, I don't want to do this. You know, the people that actually do kill themselves, those are the ones that give into shit like that. I don't normally do that, but I don't give into it because I let myself kind of feel the process, because that's part of it. Sometimes is suicidal tendencies, and it can get fucking scary. I mean, you can go a couple days, and usually like it's right around times like this, and just to make it a little bit mystical, because there is aspects to mysticism involved in this. And if you're familiar with Carl Jung, who is I don't know too much about him. I never like studied him. I've heard his name throughout the years, and as I got into the occult stuff, I remember he was hearing about him in a psychology class, and when I started getting into the occult stuff, I remember his name being brung up because he's very much into astrology and tarot cards and shit like that. And he was actually part of the inspiration for me doing tarot cards the way I do, which is why I am the way I am, is because when I got into the occult stuff, it's really interesting how it all works. You have to really be into it to really get why I'm so deeply entrenched in this stuff. And it's actually all for really good reason. I had this great idea last night, like all my books and shit, because they're actually starting to make more sense now. My thoughts are more coherent. And like, you know what? I think I just made the coolest thing. I think I wrote a book backwards. I think that's how it has to be read. And I'm trying it as an experiment now. I just started this morning to, I didn't mean to do that. I don't like when I give away my stuff, because then I always jinx myself when I say stuff, but who knows? Today feels like a different day for some reason. So anyway, I got this saying. I like to say, the future proves the past. And I think I'm going to try to prove that, because everything I wrote about, that I've been writing about in my head, is like, it's, so what I call it is predictive nonfiction. I don't know if that's a real genre. I may have invented it, which is fucking cool, because I may have just invented a writing genre. I don't know. That just, for me, that sounds fucking cool. I don't know. Maybe other people don't see that as impressive as I do. But so what I do is, what I've been doing since I started writing is I just write my thoughts, and it clears out a lot of the baggage. And that's what this experiment was originally about, was just, well, my friend, she told me that I wrote really nice. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let me follow through with this. And she had suggested that I do some kind of writing stuff. So I picked up some journals and I started writing just my thoughts to follow my day-to-day, because a lot of the stuff that me and my friend were getting into was a lot of the occult stuff and how it related to psychology and emotional development in people. And so a lot of our experiments and ideas I would do on myself. I actually have to go back to where our original chats were, because there's probably fucking gold in there that would really help with a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. That's a really great idea. That's a good idea. Good thinking. Oh my god. That's such a great idea. I've been meaning on doing that anyway. I totally forgot. Probably like 4 months of research in there. It's amazing. I don't think, a lot of people in my life, they think I went a little fucking bonkers, but in reality, all I was doing was I was just trying to figure out human consciousness. We think the way we do, and why we act the way we do, and why we are the way that we are, and why a lot of people seem to be going through the same exact thing that I am. People that I've never met before. That when I was doing the cards and shit, I was between June and almost now. Okay. I'm not going to read out that fucking book. Anyway, but yeah. I think by the end of August, I was pretty much kind of, is when I had to take off for a new avenue in my life, unexpectedly. And but in that time, I was doing a lot of cards for people, and that's kind of where I figured out how to like look at my own shit and start to analyze myself, and really start to dig deeply into all of my layers and skin and muscles and bones and shit. And I found some really weird shit, but there was also a lot of deep shit about myself, emotional baggage, and just trauma, like past traumas, shit like that. I mean, I would get these weird feelings that I was being visited by like ghosts or aliens, and you know, people fucking say that shit all the time. So hey, listen, as far as I know, everybody has that experience, and they all kind of play it off like they don't until they hear that somebody else did. And that's what all my books are about. That's what I fucking write about, is like all the weird shit that was going on in my head. But I didn't filter it down for anybody in such a way that it's politically correct, I guess you can put it. So there's a lot of raw thoughts in there that are just like, I didn't know what the hell I was going through, so I just wrote whatever the fuck was in my head. And the point of the exercise, because at one point I wanted to make a living doing this off of this somehow. I didn't know what to use the occult stuff and magic shit as a way to make a living and support my family. Because that's like part of that was like the whole grand scheme. It's like my plan, kind of like I did that video the other day. I was like, oh, you know, go to crazy. There's like a lot of spectrum of crazy. Yeah. So take that same idea and now put it to something positive. So like the plan that I was planning in my life, there was like so many different degrees of this plan, which they were all fail safes for something else. Because if something goes wrong here, then you still have all this other shit that you got to work with. It's very complex and very convoluted life that I live. Okay.